Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
The animal kingdom is full of cute and cuddly creatures. Some animals, however, do not fit this description. At first glance, these scary-looking animals from land and sea often make you think, where did Mother go wrong? From the creepiest deep-sea creature to a bird that looks like a Pokemon character, let's have a look at 10 of the scariest animals that exist on the planet. Number 10. Anglerfish. The angry-looking anglerfish has a right to be cranky. It is quite possibly the ugliest and most bizarre-looking animal on the planet, and it lives in what's easily Earth's most inhospitable habitat, the lonely, lightless bottom of the sea. Commonly known as sea devils, anglerfish are the archetypal horror of the deep. They lurk on the bottom, more than a mile below sea level, waiting for unsuspecting prey to come their way. Their most distinctive feature, which only females have, is a piece of dorsal spine that overhangs above their mouth, like a fishing pole, hence their name. And yeah, it glows! Their mouths are so big they can eat prey up to twice their own size. Anglerfish inhale their meals whole. If the meal's too big, they tear them up with their long, pointy fangs. If you're a fish, you really don't want to get close to them, but sometimes you just won't be able to resist. Anglerfish are really the stuff of nightmares, but they're in no way the most bizarre marine animal. Keep watching for more of these terrifying creatures. Number 9. The marabou stork. The marabou stork is often considered one of the ugliest animals on the planet. Of course, some features such as the bald pink or reddish head, with scattered shaggy feathers, the huge massive tapered beak, and its ungainly stature make this bird repulsive at first sight. But actually, this gregarious bird is an essential scavenger that cleans the nature of all its waste and carrion, often associated with vultures. Removing carcasses and rotting material often helps avoid the spreading of disease. In African folklore, this sickly-looking stork was created by God out of leftover birds when he ran out of animal parts, leading to its unsightly appearance. These birds are monstrously huge, standing 5 feet tall with a wingspan that, at 10 feet, rivals that of the Andean condor. Although it typically maintains a deathly silence, the stork makes occasional grunts with its bib-like throat sac. Its head is bald and it's a hotbed of disease, hosting a range of worm-like parasites. In the bird world, it would win no beauty contests. Number 8. Black dragonfish. Deep down in the Atlantic Ocean, at depths of up to 2 kilometers, lurks this monstrosity. Just one look at this creature is enough to give you a nightmare. The dragonfish actually starts its life at the surface of the ocean as a result of its egg being buoyant. The conditions down here are extreme. There's no light, no plant life, and the environment is entirely still because it's unaffected by storms or ocean currents. To deal with this, the dragonfish uses light-producing organs called photophores to lure prey into its fang-toothed jaws. The black dragonfish is so toothy that even its tongue has razor-sharp teeth. An odd characteristic of this species is the absence of some vertebrae in its spine. This enables the dragonfish to have greater flexibility of its head, allowing them to feast on large prey. The scientific name of this creature is Gramatostomius flagellobarba. I probably butchered that. If you think it can't get creepier than this, then you're in for a surprise. Number 7. Star-nosed mole. The star-nosed mole is certainly a bit unsettling to look at if you're observing it head-on. You get the sense that you're looking at a headless turkey or any of those creatures they pull straight out of horror flicks, but there's a reason it's given the 7th spot on this list. While they look scary head-on, the star-nosed mole is blind and harmless, really. The star-shaped tentacles coming out of the animal's face are actually sense receptors, important for its sense of touch. The fleshy tentacles have heightened senses, making the mole able to process up to 12 objects per second, as well as to detect microscopic textures the way we feel and understand large objects. And they can even tune into electrical fields produced by other aquatic animals as they move through the water. Since they're blind, the highly sensitive sense of touch helps them move around and eat. Forgive me, but I still think it's a scary-looking headless turkey. Number 6. Chimera. If you're familiar with Greek mythology, you've probably heard of chimera. They were described as a combination of a goat, snake, and a lion, all in one body. However, modern-day chimera do not look like the ones described in Greek mythology. While they have semblance with sharks because they were separated by evolution over 400 years ago. These monsters are found in deep ocean waters and measure only about 1 to 5 feet. If you call the chimera a ghost shark, you may not be far from the truth, because that's their other name. I don't know if you've seen the 2013 movie called Ghost Shark. Well, it appears that the ghost shark actually exists in real life. Although they're newly discovered, they've lived for millions of years. Chimera are relatively smaller creatures, but their teeth make all the difference. When scientists dissected the stomach of a species of chimera in the lab, they discovered a crab claw in there. If they could chew something as hard as a crab's claw, imagine for a second the strength that lies within their needle-sharp teeth. Number 5. Goliath bird-eating tarantula. Unlike the previous one on this list, the Goliath tarantula is not a long-legged spider, but it is a very robust species, and it's not out of reason why they call it a giant tarantula. It measures a total of 11 inches and is registered in the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest spider on Earth. It weighs up to 6.2 ounces, and it's pretty heavy. It lives in the jungles of the northern parts of South America, mainly in swampy areas. Its sighting is not simple though, mainly because it's nocturnal. Although its name indicates that its diet consists of birds, it mainly feeds on earthworms, insects, and other amphibians. It's not considered dangerous for humans as it doesn't usually attack unless threatened. Besides, its bite's not lethal to humans, but it can cause intense pain. And one wouldn't expect any less considering its 1.5-inch long fangs. It's listed as an endangered species due to deforestation in its natural habitat. Number 4. The long-wattled umbrella bird. Looking more like a Pokemon rather than a real animal is number 4 on our list, the long-wattled umbrella bird. The name comes from the male of the species. They sport a crest of fine hair-like feathers that hang all the way over its bill, giving it the look of having an umbrella. This unusual species also has an inflatable wattle dangling from the middle of its chest. This long wattle is covered in short, scaly feathers and when inflated, looks kinda like a pine cone. During mating season, the male puts these ornaments into action. Females and immature birds are only half the size of males, and the wattle is much smaller or absent altogether. Number 3. Vampire squid. The full name is vampire squid from hell. First the name and then the look, which is just like that of an octopus and a squid, could stimulate horrendous imaginations. But don't be scared, these creatures can never suck your blood. Nope, they can't even suck the blood of fellow sea creatures. Rather, it feeds on food particles at the bottom of the ocean where it lives. Also, it catches plants and animal remains that sink to the bottom of the sea for food. While the rule of the jungle is eat or be eaten, this creature doesn't have interest in such a game. To escape predators, it lets out a substance that produces light. This light confuses the predator so our vampire squid can escape. Apart from the light produced from its protective discharge, the tip of each arm produces lights that represent communication signals with one another. Number 2. Faceless cusk eel. Can you see my face? I heard that's John Cena's rhetoric. But the faceless cusk eel cannot ask this question because even if it conquers the world, it has no face. The eel was first discovered in 1873 in Australia, and since then, it disappeared like a ghost, only to suddenly appear this year alongside all the wonderful experiences of 2020. The eel's mouth and eyes are underneath its body. You're probably wondering how it feeds, right? Well, this is kinda bizarre. The mouth stretches out of the body to catch prey and then goes back inside. That's a shocker for the prey, only if it has the chance to be shocked. You know what I mean? Number 1. Viperfish. When it comes to completely horrifying and grotesque looks, there's hardly any monster that does it like the viperfish. The viperfish is exactly the sort of fish that could be featured in a horror movie. It has all the looks for it. In fact, if you've seen the viperfish in a fictional movie, you'd probably assume it didn't exist. Yet, it does. Thankfully, the viperfish isn't very large. They only reach about 25 centimeters long and have long, thin, dark, silver blue bodies that kind of resemble a snake. No wonder it's named after a snake. They have huge heads, and their jaws look like something that would look better on the face of a dinosaur rather than the face of a fish. The viperfish has teeth so long, in fact, they don't fit entirely in its mouth. In fact, its teeth are so long that it could poke itself in the eyes if it closed its mouth completely. Imagine a fish so horrifying and scary that it can't completely close its own mouth. Thankfully, this scary fish lives very, very deep in the water. In fact, it mainly swims about 4,400 meters below the surface. So no, You may never actually see the viperfish. However, it may just be enough for you to know that it exists. Which one of these creatures did you find the scariest? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing daily content. See you in the next one.